Hi. I filmed an entire video and never did an intro for it. So here I am a couple days later, in the middle of a blizzard. In the fall of 2025, I went on a road trip across the United States, and I made this video to share some things that I learned. I called them tips in the video. So if you don't know anything about me traveling across the country, you should check out the video that's linked in the thingamajigger and learn more about that. So, yeah. Anyway, here's a younger version of me. It is unscripted, and the sun is right in my eyes. This is so jank. All right, so we're going to do things a little bit differently today. Some things that I learned on the trip, I'm going to call them tips, because why not? Gonna wing it, like you do everything else in life. I'm talking about the United States, by the way. Tip number 1 is really just a vehicle checklist. Just some things to think about before you hit the road. You know, check your tires, make sure they're at good pressure. Top off your fluids. You know, that includes your windshield washer fluid, engine coolant, gas, all that stuff. Just top it off. Could be good to clean your car too, because like it's gonna get dirty after a long trip, and it's gonna get gross on the inside and outside. Oh, toll roads. There are less toll roads than you'd think in the United States. So also I think if you were to buy something to cover all toll roads, there's like 10 different things you need to get. It's honestly not worth it. The tolls in most places are not enough for it to be worth it, in my opinion, anyway. But look them up yourself. You know, it depends on where you're going, how you're doing it. I think in my 3-month trip, I paid a total of like $25 in tolls. So, not that bad. Car safety in case your car breaks down. I believe, if I remember correctly, AAA only covers a portion of the country. So it's also good to just have a few things on hand for yourself in case your car breaks down that you can fix yourself. So learn how to switch a tire out before you go. Make sure you have a spare tire, because a lot of new cars these days don't have spare tires. Tip numero dos. That's 2. Protect your butt. So you're going to be sitting on your butt a long time when you drive in your car. So get a seat cushion. But trust me, you'll use it. I don't care how comfortable your car is or how comfortable your seats are, you're going to want one. Even if you don't use it at first, you might be on the road for like 8 hours, and at some point, you're going to get uncomfortable, and it might be nice to have an extra cushion. Playlist. Come up with a good playlist. And actually come up with a few good playlists, because you're going to want to change it up. And also come up with a few things that you can listen to. Audiobooks are great. Podcasts are great. In terms of stuff to like pack, like in terms of clothes or luggage or that sort of thing, you need less than you'd think, but more than you actually want to bring. I stayed in a lot of hotels, so one of the things that I did was I actually had a backpack. I would leave my main luggage in my trunk, and then I would take the clothes that I needed for the next day or however long I was staying at the hotel, put them in the backpack, and then just bring the backpack with me. You do you. You'll figure it out. Tip 3. Gas. Get gas. You need it. Your car is going to need gas. Gas is also different throughout the country, and that was something that surprised me. Just because a sign says regular doesn't mean it's regular gas. And what I mean by that is if your car takes like 87, like my car, which is regular gas where I live, that's not necessarily going to be regular gas where you go. So there were parts of, I want to say it was like South Dakota or Wyoming or Montana, it may have even been Idaho, where regular gas was 85 unleaded, not 87. And 87 was premium. I even saw 83, 86, 88. They all have diesel. Also, if you're going to go to national parks, get gas before you go into the national park. It's like $1, sometimes $1.50 per gallon more inside of national parks. And not all of them even have gas stations. Speaking of gas, tip number 4. Or quattro, because I can count, unlike Bono. Bathrooms. And yeah, I guess that's a different type of gas. But bathrooms are more important than you'd think. If you're staying in hotels, stay at the hotel until you go to the bathroom. And then leave in the morning. Don't leave before you go to the bathroom, because if you do, you'll have some experiences that you may not want to have. I had some close calls, put it that way. So good places to stop for bathrooms. Hotels always have bathrooms on the first floor. So even if it's not a hotel you're staying at, if you see one on the road and you need to go to the bathroom, use it. You'd be surprised how few fast food restaurants actually have public bathrooms. Try to avoid going to bathrooms in national parks. Visitor centers, generally speaking, have normal bathrooms, and that's great. Go to the bathroom there. But they're also going to be super packed and busy. You do not want to go to the bathroom on a trail. Like, obviously, if you have to, you have to. But they're not really bathrooms. They're latrines. They don't have running water. There's no sink to wash your hands. They don't have soap. They have Purell. And they are literally just holes in the ground with, like, a fake toilet on top. They're gross. They're disgusting. They smell horrible. And you do not want to go in them if you don't have to. Also, because they're gross and disgusting, people don't respect them. So, like, you're going to see some things you don't want to see. Put it that way. Which then leads us to tip 5. What causes you to go to the bathroom? Food, right? So, you're going to want road snacks. You're going to want things that you can eat in the car. You have to consider that, because you're probably going to be eating them with one hand. If you're with somebody, if they're packaged, somebody can open that package for you, which is great. If you're alone, you have to also think about that. You have to think about, what can I open as a package while I'm driving, and then also eat with one hand while I'm driving. That's not going to impede my ability to drive. Going along with that, you will accumulate trash. If you're driving with somebody, like if you're on a road trip with someone else, you could probably put it in the back seat on the floor or something like that, and then they can just fill it up. They can be a bag. It can be like a little bin thing. I have a fold-up one that I bought on Amazon. Also, the trash receptacle will make it super easy when you want to dump the trash, because you just grab the bag and then throw it into a dumpster or something like that. So, in terms of where to get food while you're driving, there's fast food everywhere. There's going to be a McDonald's, Taco Bell, Jack in the Box. Oh, there's also Subway. Subway is everywhere. So you can survive off of that. It's kind of gross. No offense if you like Subway. I'm sorry. It's nasty. But I found that there was actually a Chipotle near most Taco Bells and McDonald's. If you're alone, you can pull over into fast food restaurants. Most of them actually have Wi-Fi, surprisingly. And you can use that Wi-Fi to figure out other places to eat. Oh, water. You need to drink water. Water is life. You can get 40 bottles of water from Walmart for like $5. Great deal. Just saying. If you drink coffee, I don't drink coffee, so I can't help you there. But I have seen things online of people who go hiking a lot or camping in the snow who actually have like this, it's like an electronic thermos that heats up the water for you and everything like that, and then it has like a little thingy on it that you can grind the beans with. You might want to consider getting one of those so that you can have the type of coffee that you like to drink with you on the trip, and then you just bring that with you, you pack it. So step number 6. Sleep. You gotta sleep, because, sleep. Okay, now we're recording. Great, I just did a video without being recorded. If you're staying in hotels, it's really not going to be that much of an issue. You'll have to double check this when you go on your trip, because things could change, but right now, I'm pretty sure, at least when I went, you could stay in national forests. You have to check the fire ban because sometimes they don't allow you to do fires and stuff, but usually you can camp out in a tent. You can park your car overnight, so you can camp out in your car. Walmart does advertise that you can. However, I found a Walmart that wouldn't let you. You can go in and you can ask like a manager or something like that. If you're going to be sleeping in parking lots, bring like window covers for your car. They're always lit. They're lit at night, all night, 24/7. You cannot sleep in national parks unless you are in the campground and you have to pay to be in the campground. You also have to book that in advance. So if you're going to be planning to do that, book it in advance. There's also a few apps that you can download. I didn't have much luck with the apps, but the apps will actually tell you based on user data where you can sleep. So people will mark like, I slept here for the night or whatever. Rest stops actually have signs up, like they say no overnight parking, but people do it anyway. So, obviously do it at your own risk. Tip 7. We're on 7. Okay, so this is one, we're getting a little bit more serious with 7. When you're on the road, your car is basically your home. It's got everything you need in life in it, or it should. Well, maybe. I don't know. It depends on how you're doing it. But there are certain parts of the country in the United States that have higher crime rates than others, especially when it pertains to vehicle crime. In the San Francisco Bay Area, California, I went and visited a few friends out there, and the first thing they said to me was, do not park your car downtown because it will get broken into. I've also heard plenty of stories from people talking about their car being broken into on trailheads and in national parks. Something to think about too is that what is valuable to you may not be valuable to someone else, and vice versa. So what is not valuable to you may be valuable to someone else. So I actually met somebody on the trail that had their car broken into like 3 days before that, and they lost all of their clothing because it was in the back of their car. Also, note about safety, and this is sort of like fading away from road trips and more about hiking. Hiking on trails in national forests and in national parks, it's important that you have essentials with you, like a first aid kit, water, flashlight, a whistle, that sort of stuff. More people go missing in national forests and national parks in the United States than like anywhere else. So, and you will see missing persons posters and signs. I saw several, all in national parks, because I didn't go hiking through a lot of national forests, but all the ones I saw were national parks. And all of them were more than 3 months old, and they had never found the person. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. It doesn't matter how much experience you have, you can get lost in the woods. I actually just heard a story about a woman who got lost in Zion National Park. I don't know how many years ago this was, but she got lost half a mile from the parking lot on one of the trails, and they couldn't find her for 12 days. And the only reason why they found her was because a kid came across her hammock, saw her, and thought it was a skeleton and got scared. So you're also going to come across certain areas of the country that give you the heebie-jeebies. All right, tip, what am I, 9? 8. Tip 8. Tip 8. Tip 8. You're gonna meet a lot of people. Some who you meet will be cool. Some will not be cool. Some will be a little weird. Weird is cool. Cool is cool. Not so cool. Not cool. I don't know what I just said.
I don't know if that made any sense.
The people you meet that will be cool will, want to get to know you. They'll want to tell you about themselves. They'll be interested in hearing your story, and they'll want to tell you their story and all that stuff. It'll be fun. People that are a little bit weird are probably just lonely, and they will just talk your ear off, and they'll never ask you any questions. They will just speak. They'll just talk. Yeah, you'll learn some things from people. Some people have different experiences. So, try to get as much as you can out of those experiences, because sometimes they'll teach you things that you didn't think you needed to know. Tip 9, the 9th tip. What is this? News. Right. Okay, so the world is in a weird place. I know it feels like it's weird for the times. Like, it's like, oh, this is so weird. This has never happened before. But, like, we don't know that. Like, the world has probably always been in a crazy place, and we're just noticing it now. It's useful when you're on a road trip to know what's happening in the place you're heading to. Knowing if there are protests going on, knowing if there's some sort of tragic event that just happened, or if there's some sort of other event happening, like a festival or something like that, would be very useful for you when you're traveling. While I was on this trip, there were a whole bunch of protests happening in Portland, and on the news they were talking about how they were blocking bridges and they were blocking roads and they were doing a bunch of stuff. And so instead of going through Portland when I was driving through Oregon, I just drove around it. I was like, nope, I'm just going to go around the city, just avoid all that. If you want to drive through protests, that's on you. Personally, I don't. But news, check the news. It's important. The last tip that I'm going to share with you today, last but not the least, is just, survival and having fun. You are going to have moments on your road trip, if you go on one, that are lonely, depressing, and hard to get past. But one of the things that this trip has taught me that I didn't even realize is that loneliness is not a curse. It's not something that you should run away from, and it's not something that you should accept as being negative. There's a power in accepting being alone and accepting the peace that comes with it. There are certain positives from doing solo travel, for example. And that there's like the physical positives of that. When there's a decision that needs to be made, there's no discussion that needs to happen. You can just make the decision and be done with it. You don't need to worry about it. When it comes to whether or not you want to sleep in a day or you want to get up early, there's no discussion that needs to happen. Same thing with the trails and the hikes. If you go on a couple of hikes and you don't feel like continuing, you can stop. Or if you're on a hike and you're with people and they want to keep going, but you see something that gives you the creeps and you don't want to keep going, you don't have to. And you don't have to worry about the peer pressure of it, which gets into the survival aspect of this, which is, don't screw with bears. Always have bear spray. Always look up what's needed.
Hi, future me again. So, when thinking about a bear in this situation, just think about a bear as an analogy for anything that's dangerous, right? So, you might get lucky and be that person that gets to pet the bear. And then you'd be like, I pet a bear. You can be all excited about it. Or the bear might eat you. And then you end up with a Darwin Award. So, yeah.
Another thing to consider too is that in the United States you have federal law, which covers every state, but then you also have state law and municipal law. And so every state that you go into is going to have different laws about what you can and can't do. And it's your responsibility to know them. Like if you're just driving through, there isn't really much to worry about. As long as you're following the rules of the road, you should be fine. So if you are the type of person that would love to start a revolution, but unfortunately has work tomorrow, leave a like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. I hope you are having a wonderful day and you are not getting caught up in the craziness of the Epstein files in the news, because God knows it's wild. I don't remember what else I was supposed to say there, but cool. Have a good one. Take it easy. I will see you hopefully in the next video when that gets made. I've got, I think, 2 weeks worth of crappy weather coming up, so I probably still will not be able to get outside unless I decide to really do something wild, which maybe. Anyways,
Nobody's even watching this, so have fun. That's the end of it.
I guess that should be tip number 2, shouldn't it? Yeah. Okay. Tips and tricks. It's not like tricks. I don't know why I'm saying tips and tricks. Tips. Tip video. 10 tip video. Just the tip. Gas. What? I don't even know. There's an electric car screaming behind me. Doing the like weird chorus of people singing. I would rather eat Taco Bell 1,000 times than eat at Subway one more time. It's just huge. Huge. I mean, huge. It was huge. It was huge. I mean, that place gave me the heebie-jeebies. Heebie-jeebies. Heebie-jeebies.
Next, weird, cool, and not so cool. Yeah.
That was a thing. I'm probably going to cut all of that because what I just said. That was, I don't know what is going on with me. I think I spent too much time alone. This is problematic.
Okay. I don't remember what else I was supposed to say.
It's cold.
You think? I don't know. I'm just gonna end it because whatever. I don't know what that was.